What's up, guys? It's your boy Echa, aka Slim Fat Boy, and aka your mom favorite DJ. And welcome to the first episode of Bali Praia TV. And in this first episode, we're gonna get to know better about Bali Praia. What is Bali Praia? Who's the people behind Bali Praia? Everything. And we're gonna learn about themselves. Also, we're gonna learn about Bali Praia, and we are also gonna learn about the purpose of Bali Praia and the whole galaxy of music industry and music business. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey,
what's up?
man.
What's up?
This is the guys behind Bali Praia. We got Mikey, Moran, and Fadi.
What's up?
So, guys, first of all, what is Bali Praia?
So, we've already kind of like did a pre-opening, and I think some people have gotten a grasp. But in the bigger picture, it's still not as widely spread as we want to know it, and we want to just explain in our own words what Bali Praia is. And in a true essence, it is a creative music hub. I mean, you have a lounge, you have a recording studio, you have an online record label, and then right now our downstairs cafe is being constructed. So a one-stop shop area for music.
For music, place for people to network, for sure.
Okay, so you guys started with doing live podcasts, feature a lot of DJs prominently from Bali Island, and on the past episode of Bali Praia TV, you're also doing like a lot of interviews and stuff with the DJs playing. So in terms of the Bali Praia TV, besides just music and playing, what type of content you guys are going to bring?
So basically, it's always cool to go behind the music. It's like trying to figure out, we want to be a platform for inspiring people to, become DJs, to become musicians. So there's always an origin story. I mean, we have so many DJs from all over the place DJing in our Bali Praia Live. So why not try to get the origin story? How do you start? How do you plan your sets and all that? This is kind of like a learning tool for people to learn how to become a DJ, I guess,
Okay, speaking of origin, Bali Praia, the origin of the name Bali Praia. Can you tell
The
us?
origin. Well, we came up with a lot of names actually before we took a decision, and actually at that moment we were talking about the name, and when we started it, we had a special connection with Brazil in that time, so that's why some Brazilian name come up, which Praia in Brazil means beach. So and we put up a lot of names, and just Bali Praia itself just was catchy and just like really took our attention, and we're like, this is it.
If you really think about it, we wanted to be kind of like known on a local and an international level. So to have Bali in the name, it resonates with locals, and to have Praia in the name, it resonates with international. So we just felt it was the right fit.
And Bali itself, it's like the name, it's big. It has to be a Bali in it.
Okay, so let's talk about you guys first. You guys both are DJs. Can you tell us when do you start? When your DJ history, each of their own. Come
Right,
on.
for me, fast. I've been DJing now for 20 years actually. 20 years, more than half of my life. Started in a restaurant in Sweden. I was grown up in Sweden, and then I met a guy who was from Bali there, and he's the one who brought me here. And then I just fall in love with the island and stayed. Kind of.
For me, it was two things. I watched a movie called Groove, which is about mobile electronic raves.
Yeah, I watched it.
I think
I need
it's
to
like
watch that one. I
a
haven't watched it.
classic, old school classic movie about planning the rave, what's behind the DJ and all that. It's a really cool movie. Check it out. And also I went to Ibiza in 2002, and I just saw like the energy of DJs. DJs were still, like, I guess in Ibiza and all them, it's still, it was already mainstream, but in the world of where, like Swedish House Mafia is getting booked bigger than like bands, it didn't come to that stage yet,
Yeah.
but I saw how much energy the DJs were giving to the audience, and I was like, man, this is something I want to do, man. It's so cool.
So safe to say that your boat is not. You guys are not newcomers in the game. If we can compare the DJ scene way back then and now, what do you guys think?
Wow, it's changed so much, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know about you, Fadi, but I started with vinyl.
Yeah. I actually started CDs, but I went to vinyl because you couldn't get the good music in the underground on CDs. It was only commercialized. So I had to go to vinyl to when I started playing house music, because when I started it was commercial, right? And you could buy literally at the store all these single CDs, right? So yeah, no, I was into vinyl too, but started with CD. But the whole digital world has taken over. Everything is faster. Everything it's more buttons. You know, it feels like today it's not just about the music. It's about literally all the technical thing too, right? And how to use the equipment properly.
I think also the artistry of DJing has changed. Like, you know, everyone can become a DJ. There's so many tutorials. Things are becoming easier with controllers and all that stuff. So you gotta be a little bit ahead of the game. I mean, for me, you know, instead of like having someone just play like a podcast playlist, DJing is about flow, and DJing is about knowing your audience and the journey you want to take them through. You know what I mean?
And that is the difference now. I mean, the DJs has actually become the new pop stars. See, this is I actually start, you know, separating now. For example, no hard feelings. I respect all kind of music. Like, but let's see the EDM DJs today who are playing for festivals, which they are literally filling in full arenas. They bring more people than a pop artist like Madonna and stuff. Like, for example, Martin Garrix and stuff. It's all about money too, right? And sales. But for me, it's more. It's not really DJ, man. Like, for me, it's more a show and a pop star. Then you have where we come from, where we used to carry our vinyls and literally going to the place, and they was have to like play with the vinyls, and it was a full-on work, right?
Underground track.
Yeah.
That no one's playing, and I'm like, I'm gonna drop this.
And it wasn't really about the money. I mean, we got paid, you know, but I would never expect that a DJ could earn like $500,000 today. Like, even the best DJ in that time was earning maybe max $20,000 as best.
Yeah.
And it was like a lot. So it's great. I think it's great in the one way, because I think what's happening is people follow the technology, and it's 2018, so I can't say no and be against what's going on, because this is how you actually innovation, like you find new ways of doing cool things. So I would say it's the technology who has changed the music scene for sure.
So, technology, music, everything blends together. Let's talk about something that you also guys run, record label. Record label, because right now it's the age of technologies. Back then, record label it's exclusive for people that can print CDs, that can print vinyls and everything. But now, as a record label, you guys already release music by a lot of artists. For example, from Soul, from Luna, from and you guys has what make you guys different as a record label?
So we've decided to distinguish our sound with Soul, Luna, and Island Tech. So Soul is, you know, we were kind of going through, like, you know, we wanted to represent Bali and electronic music, and something that is not too, I guess, like commercial, like EDM. And, you know, okay, so you have the tropical sunset, deep house, tropical house. So that fits into Soul, and then which means sun
In Portuguese.
And then you have Luna, which is kind of like the moon, and it's like the darker techno tech house,
Nighttime music, yeah.
Nighttime music. And then we kind of created our own called Island Tech, where we wanted something that represents Bali in the world map of electronic music, something that we feel that we can take sounds of, like, you know, Indonesia, like this, let's say like a kecak dance or like gamelan or something like that, and then use it with electronic music. I mean, Fadi has a track out now, Cahaya, with his wife Sinta singing as well, and that's one of our first tracks. You know?
But it's really exciting to see when we play it here in Indonesia, when the locals literally hear the Indonesian vocals into a tech house track. It's actually something new, and they love it. Like, well, at first they think it's funny, but they love it. And then, I mean, Indonesia is rich with instruments. That's what we want to bring it over to the rest of the world. So being different as a record label, we're not different as a record label. What we do want to do is to help to put the sound from Bali out there. So.
Okay, and as a record label, which platform that support you guys? Where do you release all your music?
So that's actually, you know, we have a record label manager, Heavy Pins. We work with this thing called LabelWorks, where you actually, LabelWorks already does all the due diligence with, you know, companies like Spotify, iTunes, Beatport, TrackSource. I think you have like a list of like
massive,
100 platforms, and our tracks go online.
So they're kind of the distributor too, like, so and it's amazing because they do remind you of what to do. So they actually, when you say due diligence, you need to have a website, you need to have a Facebook account, you need to have a SoundCloud, all of it. And I mean, there's this technology today; it does it all for you. So yes, the question is you can find on Beatport, you can find iTunes, you can find on track stores, you can find all of them.
Yeah. So where do you guys see Bali Praia in, let's say 5 years? 5 years with the growing dance music scene. Let's talk about in Bali and also internationally. Where do you see you guys in 5 years?
You know, we've always said that we're just getting started, but I
Yeah.
really feel that we're finally getting started, and it's really an exciting time, especially with this creative, you know, cafe that we're making. And I feel like something like that, where we're making this hub of people connecting with music, we can take that nationally.
Yeah.
But Bali Praia as a whole, like we can you know, target all the big electronic dance hubs like Miami, Ibiza, where we can have a presence, and we can do some sort of like, you know, some sort of like collaborations with them. I mean, we have connections through Camilo Franco, let's say, who's one of our Bali Praia artists, who's you know, living in Ibiza, and we definitely want to try to gain national and
Yeah.
international.
So again, what we want to do is to literally profit the scene here in Bali, right? Or the people, the DJs here in Bali, and bring them internationally too. So we start here, and hopefully we can do a Bali Praia studio and a cafe, maybe in Ibiza or Miami and stuff. So expanding that way, and in that way we can help to get our sound out there. To be honest, fully on where we want to be, I can't really say right now. But for sure, you, me, and Mikey playing in Ibiza somewhere together.
We're gonna make it happen.
But again, most important is that we are not here being ego of what we are. It's about to help the local community, and so, and we're mostly excited about collaboration with people actually.
Okay, so guys, it's so interesting to finally get to know Bali Praia and also get to start Bali Praia TV. But we'll give out great contents, and also we'll showcase like great music, great artists and everything. And congratulations
All
for Bali
right,
Praia.
thank you, man.
See you next time.
And see you next time, guys. Thank you. Peace.